Owning property in France, whether for personal use or as an investment, comes with a variety of financial obligations that are often overlooked or underestimated. Between taxes on property ownership, rental-related taxes, and other specific levies, it's crucial to understand these costs to avoid any unpleasant surprises. Let us unveil the truth on the real taxes you pay when owning a French property. The property tax, Taxe Foncière. The Taxe Foncière is one of the primary annual taxes that every property owner in France must pay. It applies to both built properties and undeveloped land. The amount is based on the cadastral rental value of the property, a figure determined by the French tax authorities, to which a rate set by local authorities is applied. In some cases, such as newly built homes or certain types of renovation, temporary exemption may be granted for a period of 2 to 5 years. However, once this grace period ends, the full tax is applied. The waste collection tax. Often overlooked, the waste collection tax is a component of the property tax. This tax, paid by property owners again, is used to fund the collection and disposal of waste in local communities. The amount varies by municipality and is calculated based on the surface area of the property and its cadastral rental value. As the property tax can vary significantly depending on the property location and characteristics, it's always wise to ask for the most recent property tax bills when considering the purchase of a property. The tax can range from a few hundred euros to tens of thousands for exceptional estates. Housing tax, taxe d'habitation. Until recently, the taxe d'habitation was payable by anyone living in a property, whether they were the owner or not. However, this tax has now been abolished for primary residences but remains applicable for secondary homes. The calculation method for this tax is similar to that of property tax, so if you own a secondary home, you can expect a similar amount. The Vacant Property Tax, taxe sur le logement vacant. This tax applies to properties that have been unoccupied and unfurnished for at least 1 year in certain areas where housing demand is high. The purpose of this tax, of course, is to encourage owners to put their property back on the market. The rate can be quite steep, reaching up to 34% of the property's rental value after several years of vacancy. Thankfully, a property owner cannot be liable for both the housing tax and the vacant property tax on the same property, a bit of a relief. Local development taxes, taxe d'aménagement on building permit. If you apply for building permit or undertake significant extension works, you may be subject to local development taxes such as the development tax, taxe d'aménagement. This tax helps fund local public infrastructure and varies according to the surface area created or modified. It is paid in 2 installments, spaced 1 year apart. Preventive archaeology fee. This can be required if constructing a new building, depending on the need for archaeological studies before the work begins. These taxes are often underestimated by property owners during the purchase or renovation process. Value-added tax on property sales. Most property sales between private individuals are not subject to VAT. However, in certain specific cases, such as the sale of new properties or sales made under certain conditions in off-plan purchase, a 20% VAT may apply to the sale price. Be careful about it. The wealth tax on real estate, IFI tax. If the net value of your real estate assets in France exceeds 1.3 million euros, you will be subject to the wealth tax on real estate, impôt sur la fortune immobilière, IFI. This tax replaced the former wealth solidarity tax, ESF, but now only applies to real estate assets. The rate is progressive, ranging from 0.5 to 1.5% of the property value, depending on the total value of your real estate holdings. We have a dedicated video on this topic. Additional fiscal obligation for rental properties. If you decide to rent out your property, you will face several additional taxes, in addition to the taxes on rental income. The business property tax, CFE. Surprisingly, Renting out a property can be considered a commercial activity subject to the CFE tax. This tax applies to anyone conducting an economic activity in France, including private individuals renting out furnished property. The amount of this tax varies by municipality and the rental value of the property. Rental income tax. The income you earn from renting your property must be declared in France, no matter what your tax residency is. Rental income is subject to income tax and social charges, CSG and CRDS. While this is an indirect form of taxation on your property, it's always important to remember this requirement to avoid any issues with the tax authorities. We've come to the end of this extensive list of taxes, and I hope I haven't dampened your enthusiasm for buying a property in our very beautiful country. Do not worry, millions of property owners manage these obligations without any problems, but as with everything in life, it's much better to be well prepared, especially when it involves financial obligation. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. We have a comprehensive property buying guide that should answer most of your queries. See you soon, either on the channel or via email.